Dear colleagues, we continue our working day, and now the floor is given to Ministry of Defense of Ukraine spokesman on ATO-related issues, Colonel Oleksandr Motuzyanyk. Good afternoon, everyone. Now the information about the main events that happened in the ATO zone. Lugansk sector, there the situation remains the same. About 60% of enemy shellings are in Popasnyansky region. The occupants used mortars once it happened on Troitska, and they launched 10 mines. And also occupants violated ceasefire in Stanita Luganska, Trykhizbenka and Krymska. And in the course of enemy shellings, electricity supply line was damaged. This is Svetlana-Serbsk-Trykhizbenka supply line. And 1,400 customers are without electricity in Trykhizbenka, Orikhovo, Donetsk, and Kalaus-Novoaidarsk region. Repair works continue. On the whole, during the last 24 hours in the Lugansk sector, there were 15 enemy shellings. The Donetsk sector, the main area of military actions, is Lugansk village and Kamenka, Avdiivka, Shakhta, Butovka position, part of front line. The enemy is active during second part of the day and used mortars, tanks, and armored vehicles, and also sniper fire. Also, the enemy violated ceasefire twice in Novolugansk. In other regions near Gorlovka and the Donetsk airport, it was calm. On the whole, during the last 24 hours in the Donetsk sector, there were 17 enemy shelling, including 7 with use of heavy weapons. The Mariupol sector, the main events were in Vodyane, that is to the east of Mariupol. There was battle clash between Ukrainian forces and the enemy. And our positions and residential quarters of Vodyane suffered of several-hour shelling with the use of heavy weapons. And the scenario was like this. In the morning, 2 subversive groups of the enemy, 20 militants, each attacked 2 positions. And they came from the side of Sakhanka. And the attack was successfully repelled by ATO forces, and occupants were forced to retreat. And due to precision fire, they retreated and they tried to improve the situation. The occupants opened the fire with different units of heavy weapons, including Grad systems, mortars, and heavy cannons. And they launched about 50 mines, 4 shells of 122 and 152 millimeter of caliber, and 65 Grad shells. The losses of 9th Regiment, 5 to 8 militants killed and 13 to 16 militants wounded. One of the Grad shellings hit Vodyane village. This fact was recorded by video surveillance cameras. At the same time, Russian occupation forces delivered fire from a different direction to distract the attention of our servicemen from the main strike. And they didn't use heavy weapons at that. And at other positions of Ukrainian forces in the south of Oblast, in Telekivka, Lebedinska, and Shirokina, the situation was tense. The occupants shelled the positions with the use of mortars, cannons, and tanks. In Novotroitska, there were 4 enemy shellings, 2 sniper firing incidents, and 2 shellings by artillery. And the enemy launched 50 mines and shells. This happened between 8 and 9 p.m. In Mariinka and Krasnogorovka, Russian occupation forces also used mortars. During the last 24 hours in the Mariupol sector, there were 28 enemy shellings. During the last 24 hours, and the result of the military actions, unfortunately, we sustained losses. 3 Ukrainian servicemen were killed and 9 were wounded. These heavy losses were sustained mainly in Mariupol sector. Our hearts go out to the relatives of the servicemen who died for Ukraine. According to information provided by main intelligence department of MOD, on the 16th of March, the militants from so-called 7th Brigade of Russian occupation forces set barriers with the use of anti-personnel mine PMN-2 in Svetlodarsk Bulge. This class of mines is also known as Black Widow and is banned by the Ottawa Convention. Ukraine signed and ratified this document, and Russia didn't. In Trihizbenka, that is in Luganshina, SBU detained a woman who was informant of the militants. The perpetrator, who returned home from the temporarily occupied territories in 2016, during 2 months provided information to the enemy about deployment of Ukrainian detachments in the ATO area. This information Russian occupation forces used to shell Ukrainian positions. In course of search, the law enforcers confiscated 3 TNT blocks, a grenade F1 with the detonator, and cartridges of different caliber.
At the same time, in Donetsk region, the court released from criminal liability yet another participant of the program. They wait for you at home of the Security Service of Ukraine. In November 2014, the man voluntarily joined the ranks of militants, and with the arms in hand, he guarded the food stock warehouses of the enemy. In a month, he saw the atrocities of the militants and realized his mistake. So he addressed the law enforcement officers of Ukraine for help. The law enforcement officers continue seizing the weaponry and ammunition in the ATO area in the village of Lebedinsk, Volnovakha district in Donetsk region. They found the cache with ammunition and weaponry. They found there an assault rifle, 3 small candles, 5 flare pots, 600 cartridges, and the map of Mariupol with adjacent area. The preliminary conclusion is that the cache was made by the enemy subversive group. In the district of Slavyansk, in Donetsk region, in the tree line, the law enforcement officers found the cache from which they seized 3 RGD-5 and F1 grenades with the fuses, a small candle, 3 shells for automatic grenade launch, and over 600 cartridges of various calibers. The cache with the weaponry was also found by the security service officers along with the National Guard of Ukraine in the village of Solotka, Mariinsk district, Donetsk region. They seized more than 1,000 cartridges of various calibers and 3 sound suppressors for submachine guns, and the special service officers also found the map there with the mark. When they have checked this coordinates, they found another cache with 2 rocket-propelled anti-tank grenades, 11 handheld grenades, and 80 grenades for antebellum grenade launcher. At the checkpoint near Volnovakha, the policeman seized the ammunition. A passenger of the bus, who was 37 years old, was carrying RGD-5 grenade. He tried to export it to the village of Stepne. The Sarapere supervision prevented him from doing so. In the Ukrainian nearshore zone in the Black Sea, the joint naval exercises were conducted by Ukrainian inshore minesweeper Gnishevsk and the ship of regular naval NATO 2 anti-mine group. The exercise's goal was to train the interplay among the ship according to the NATO standards, to improve compatibility and to learn anti-mine operations organizing skills. In the scope of these exercises, they also conducted tactical maneuvers and wireless communications, search and disposal of mines. Mariupol National Guard trained to use anti-tank guided missile system Fagot. During 5 days, the military men learned the crew's actions in different kinds of battles and completed fire missions. At the Mayorsk checkpoint, 4 new models were installed to check pedestrians. This